Several years ago, I was addicted to Tinder. I used to post my photo and location everywhere, and post my six-pack, and after that, I gave up on Tinder and stuck to Instagram. I know that these two are different. There was a fake account on Instagram. There was a girl who used to leave comments under all my friends' posts. On the day of my photo, he posted a comment. Well, I saw that my friend answered him. So I said that his account must be real, and I answered his comment. We talked last week and our relationship became serious. Lisa was a beautiful girl, and according to her Instagram, she had a high education and a great job. I think she was much better than me. She posted a new beautiful photo every day, and all my friends were jealous of my relationship. Of course, except for my friend Ryan. Ryan said that you are very dumb because you didn't even talk to him. You just played messenger. But Lisa sent a message at the same time and invited me to her house. Ryan told me not to go, but the rest of my friends laughed and said to go. But be careful. In short, despite Ryan's discomfort, I went. According to his blood plan, he was an hour away. At the beginning, when I was talking to him, he said that his blood was high in the city. But when I arrived, I saw that he lives in Jagun neighborhood behind a red light. It was a duplex. Come up these stairs. It was around 9 o'clock in the evening. The area was full of dangerous people. In short, I knocked on the door and was very excited. To my surprise, I saw a fat and hairy man standing there with underwear and tattoos on his body. I asked, "Excuse me, is Lisa at home?" He said, "Yes, come." When I left, there was a very bad smell like mold, and it upset me. He told me to sit on the sofa in front of us. He said that Lisa will come again. He asked me if I had a drink. I said yes, of course. When he went to Lisa, I texted and said, "Can you come out?" And he answered right away yes. The man came with 2 glasses of syrup, one for himself and one for me. Then he put his phone on the table in front of him. I drank one of the syrup. Then I coughed and poured the syrup on my old man. I told him, "Can you give me a tissue?" She went to get me a tissue. Thank God, she didn't pick up the phone. I messaged Lisa again, and at the same time the phone on the table rang. He called because the message that I had sent, and he had not checked a look at his phone. I looked at it, and then we both looked at each other. He picked up his phone and then said to me, "I think you called me." Suddenly he attacked me with all his strength. His face fell to the ground. I didn't look behind me. Then I called the police. When the police arrived, the man was still unconscious on the ground. After that incident, I never went online dating again. This happened a few years ago. I was walking around the mall with some of my friends. All of my friends are from cyberspace and have accounts on Facebook and Instagram. Whenever we got together, we talked about your girls. One of my friends told him that on Facebook he has met a girl and he liked her very much, and he's going to go out with her at night. We also said, "Don't go to see the old man's side." It was at night when my friend texted me, "Hey, the date just ended." I texted him. Now he was a handsome old man, and he said how funny he was. But without joking, my car broke down. He sent me those people who turn around when my friend asks me to do something. I just got permission from my mom and dad to take their car. I took my phone and told Drake that on the way I drove to the location he had given me and parked the car. When I was going up the stairs, I felt a heavy feeling as if someone was watching and someone told me to come. I didn't recognize his voice. It wasn't my friend's voice, nor a girl's voice. I said to myself that it must be the girl's father. I was surprised because the door was open. I went inside, and when I closed the door behind me, I saw this man watching TV with my girl and a friend, but at all they didn't answer. They had a strange feeling. I slowly went to Rico. I'll never forget what I saw at that moment. That girl and my friend Rick had been stabbed to death. They were laid on the sofa as if they were watching TV. And then I looked at that man, a knife. There was a blood in one hand, and my friend's phone was in the other hand. He was smiling. The man turned his head, walked towards me and said, "Hello, young man. Now it's your turn." I tried to run away from the door, but I was scared and couldn't move. But when he came, I was close to him. I came and kicked him. He fell to the ground and I was able to run away from there quickly. Fortunately, I was lucky that he didn't fall. I jumped into the car and went straight to our house. But he didn't find my friend, neither the girl nor that man. Now years have passed and I live with my wife and daughter. God knows what would have happened to me if I hadn't escaped on time that night. I still have the terrible face of my friend in front of my eyes. At night, I was driving on the highway. I was returning home from my friend's visitor party. I was very tired, so I decided to stay in a hotel near the village. The hotel was not very big. I thought it was scary. After checking, I got my room number and key. My room number was 23 in the corridor of the hotel. I was passing by the room. I could hear the sound of the child's laughter. I was only 2 rooms away from me, and I noticed that this room was a little different from the other rooms. The door was very old and had a big keyhole. I saw her in her room, so big that it could be. I was very curious and I looked through the hole in the door and a girl was sitting on a bed and the head of the candle was down. I couldn't see her properly because her hair was covering her hair. It seemed strange, but I ignored. Went to my room, locked the door, and slept on my bed. The next morning, I was walking down the corridor. I don't know why, but I unconsciously looked towards room 20 and looked through the hole in the room again. But this time there was no sound. I heard, but I didn't see that girl. The only thing I could see was a red color. I said maybe yesterday. Maybe I saw that I walked through the hole in the room and she came with a red cloth in front of the hole and covering her work. I knocked and turned back and went to the reception before I left the reception of the hotel. She said that before the construction of this hotel, a family lived in that room. The couple had a daughter. They came here for their vacation. But then the girl was killed in the room when the police committed suicide. But the scary part is that after that incident, many of our guests said that seeing a little girl wandering in the corridor and saying that her eyes were very, very red as if she was crying blood. When she told me this, I had a stroke. The red one I saw was that. When I was 16 years old, I experienced a very terrible incident. There was a park where I often went with my friend. But one day, a girl of about 14 or 15 years old came up to me and asked me if we wanted to come with us with some other girls. I usually said yes, but honestly, I didn't get a good feeling from that girl and I told her no. A month later, I saw news about missing girls. The town we lived in was small, so this news scared everyone. One day, when I was in the park with my friend, I saw that mysterious girl again. He was playing with little girls and talking like a 4-year-old girl. Why a 14-year-old girl should be playing with them? A little later, when I looked again, there was no sign of the little girls. I also saw that mysterious girl. Their parents were looking for them. Then I saw the girl. My friend and I decided to follow her. We saw the girl get into a black van. I took a picture of the car and called the police. The next day, the police said that the car belonged to a man who lives on a boat nearby. We decided to go to the pier after searching for a while. Like detectives, we saw that one parked in front of a private ship. The quay of our city was a very quiet and peaceful place that hardly anyone passed by. What did we do to see if anyone was there? And then we went inside the ship until we put our feet inside and noticed a foul smell coming from the bottom of the ship. It's like we went down with fear. We went down and stared looking around. When suddenly Jessica's scream came. She was pointing at the container with her trembling finger. We looked inside the container and we came across the most horrible and heartbreaking scene of our life. Inside the container were pieces of human body, eyes, organs. I feel like it happened too, and it was closed. Suddenly I was afraid that those girls who disappeared a month ago might be the same bodies. We went out and checked with trepidation, but fortunately there was no one around. We quickly ran out of that hell and called the police. We saw them in the park. They were actually stolen and killed on the last floor on the ship. The main suspect of this murder was sentenced of death. I still want to lift up when I remember that container.